If you're a bird lover, you've probably felt this. You get so excited when you find a bird's nest in your yard, but then a few days later, you look again and it's just empty. It's heartbreaking. Today, we're going to talk about how to flip that script and turn that story into a success, especially for one of our favorites, the northern cardinal. This quote right here, wow, it just captures that feeling perfectly, doesn't it? You watch this pair of cardinals work so hard building their home, you see those first beautiful eggs, and then nothing, just silence. It's this quiet, awful feeling that leaves you wondering, what on earth happened? And could I have done something?
And here's why that feeling is so common. The reality for nesting cardinals is incredibly tough. On average, only about 27% of their nests actually fledge their young. Think about that for a second. That means almost 3 out of every 4 cardinal nests will fail. This isn't just a string of bad luck. It is a brutal statistical battle for survival. So this is what we're calling the empty nest problem. But here's the thing. Understanding the problem is the absolute first step to fixing it. So let's really dig in and figure out what these amazing birds are truly up against. Okay, so from the moment that first egg is laid to the day the last baby bird leaves, you're looking at roughly a 21-day period. And those 21 days are just filled with nonstop danger. The number one reason for that whopping 73% failure rate? In a word, predators. The nest is a stationary target, basically an all-you-can-eat buffet for a whole bunch of other animals.
So who are the culprits? It's time to meet the nest raiders. Knowing your enemy is half the battle. And in this case, the enemies are smart, they're persistent, and they come from absolutely everywhere. From the ground, from the trees, and even from the sky.
And just look at this rogues gallery. You have your ground crew, like cats and snakes. Then you've got the acrobats, raccoons and squirrels, who are just masters at climbing and getting into places you'd think are impossible. And we can't forget the aerial assault from other birds like crows and blue jays who are actively scanning the bushes from above. Heck, even dogs and chipmunks can cause enough of a ruckus to make a nest fail.
All right, I know that was a lot of bad news, but here comes the good news. We can fight back, and not by going to war with predators, but by outsmarting them. So let's talk about the solution, designing a safe haven. This is all about making your landscape work for the birds, not against them. This slide just illustrates the difference perfectly. Over on the left, you see a vulnerable yard. That single, isolated bush in the middle of a lawn, it's basically a giant neon sign pointing to the nest. But on the right, that's the goal, a safe haven. We're talking dense, layered shrubs all grouped together. It creates confusion for predators and tons of escape routes for the birds. And notice the feeder placement. Putting it way far away from the nest is crucial, so you don't create a busy highway of activity that advertises where the nest is. So what should you actually plant? Well, think dense, think messy, and even think thorny. Native shrubs like ninebark, viburnum, and elderberry are absolutely fantastic choices. They've got those complex, tangled branches that are a nightmare for bigger predators to get through. And hey, anything with thorns, that's just nature's own barbed wire. Landscaping is a great long-term strategy, for sure. But what can you do, like, right now, tonight? That's where active yard defenses come into play. These are tactics you can use immediately to make your yard way less appealing for hunters.
Let's break it down into 3 really simple steps. First, secure your yard. Raccoons are drawn in by easy meals, so seal up those trash cans and bring pet food inside. You gotta remove the welcome mat. Second, install some deterrents. A motion-activated sprinkler is totally harmless, but it's incredibly effective at scaring the daylights out of a cat or a raccoon prowling around at night. And third, add barriers. Use those thorny bushes we just talked about to create a natural, physical wall around likely nesting spots. Now, here's a pro tip. Cardinals, they won't use a birdhouse, right? But other birds, like bluebirds and wrens, definitely will. So by making their nests super safe with things like predator guards and baffles on the poles, you actually lower the overall predator traffic in your yard. When predators learn your yard is a tough place to find a meal, everybody wins, including the cardinals hiding out in the bushes. Okay, we've gone over the threats, and we've talked about the strategies. Now let's put it all together into your official cardinal protection plan. These are the core rules for making that switch from just a passive bird watcher to an active backyard guardian. This chart of do's and don'ts is so important, because sometimes our best intentions can totally backfire. Do watch the nest from far away, but please don't go check on it up close every day. Your repeated visits can leave a scent trail that leads predators right to it. Do keep your yard free of pesticides to support the insects that baby birds need to eat. And definitely do hold off on pruning your shrubs until the fall. You never know, that branch you're about to snip might be hiding a whole family.
If you take only one single thing away from this whole explainer, please make it this. The single most effective thing you can do to protect nesting birds is to keep cats indoors. It does not matter if your cat is well-fed and lazy. The instinct to hunt is hardwired. This one action has a massive, unbelievably positive impact on nest survival. It's a true game changer.
Finally, let's talk about fueling the parents, because nesting is exhausting work. While adult cardinals love seeds, their babies need protein, and tons of it. That means insects, caterpillars, beetles, you name it. By planting native plants and not using pesticides, you're essentially creating a baby food factory right in your yard. Offering some mealworms is also a great little boost. And don't forget a clean bird bath for those tired parents to get a drink. So while we can't save every single nest, we can absolutely shift the odds. By designing a smarter yard, using active defenses, and just avoiding those common mistakes, you can turn your yard from a place of high risk into a true sanctuary, a place where cardinals don't just visit, but where they can actually raise a family. It's a really powerful feeling, going from a passive observer to an active protector. And the reward? Seeing those fledglings finally take their first flight from a nest that you helped defend? Well, there's just nothing like it. So the only question left is, are you ready to become a backyard guardian?